Welcome to Chris and Carlette Live, a podcast about life, love, and overcoming obstacles. Each week, we discuss the good, the bad, and the indifferent of life's interruptions. Now, here's your host, Chris and Carlette.
Keep believing, don't go stressing, keep it moving. God, we're resting, here to help you, here to bless you. With God on our side, CNC Life, CNC Life.
All right. We are live again on this fine, rainy afternoon.
Evening. Something like that.
Depending on what side of the country you're in.
That is true. If you're in California, it's 4:00. So, we're a little early.
Yeah, we're a little early. I'm sorry.
About 45 seconds early. But listen, better early than never. How about that?
Right.
So listen, thank you all for tuning in. As you all still come in, we will still welcome you. We have a great show on tonight. Excited to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
They are primed and ready, looking pretty. And so we, wow, he's doing double duty, guys, just to see what he's doing. Y'all don't see what I see, but you will see it real soon. But just to say this, so glad to be here. I have to say this, and to all the people that's coming in, Tashika, Winona, Mandisa, hello, and thank you for tuning in.
Yes. Matter of fact, why don't I put the camera on your lovely face?
You already have it on there.
No, on this shot. Bam.
Oh, well, there you go. So anyway, I want to say yesterday, I know everybody can have their own story and everything, but yesterday church was so good. And I can say this every week, but yesterday was dear. It was a press. Not that I didn't want to go. Wasn't that. I was very, very tired. And but I was not, nothing was going to stop me from being at the house of God yesterday. Okay. As you all know, as I say every week, we attend the Life Church of Atlanta. Dr. Terrence A. Merritt is our pastor, and located in Southeast Atlanta. But he broke out with a song. Okay. First of all, he started off with the telling us and reminding us, how growing up we used to always hear, the Lord is soon to come, the Lord is coming back. He's on, he said, no, he's on his way back. Okay. Not only that, and how we used to hear, these are the last days. Well, now these are the last of the last days. And he was like, if you don't know, if you ain't open your body, you can figure it out by watching the news. And I'm going to tell you this, he broke out with the song about heaven is mine. Oh boy. The tears just fell for me. It just, growing up hearing those songs. Yeah, the tears. It was those hot tears. Ones that just when it go down, it's just it was some hot tears. It was just, it's the blessed hope. Oh my God, of the Lord's return. The people of God. Listen, the Bible says to comfort one another with these words that He's coming back. That's supposed to be comforting to the people of God, okay? So I'm just saying, it just blessed me. It's like, despite all this stuff, He is soon to return. He's coming back. Hey, Terrence. And so I comfort you with those words, okay? And like they told us growing up, if it's not comforting, get it right to make it comfortable. Get it right. What do you have to do, okay? So listen, how was your week, sir?
My week was
very busy.
I
didn't see you. Busy. I didn't see you until last night. I hadn't seen you in about 3-4 days.
Keep talking about that while I said that.
Yeah, 3-4 days. He had an assignment, and which is why another reason why I was tired. Hey, I had to kick into all the roles but keep the house stable. So he came home to quiet, clean house and welcoming, so he can go out and do what he had to do his other assignments, and then come back home. It's nothing like they go out, they go and slay the dragons, then you want them to come home to peace, and have time of rest and relaxation and draw their mind in and let them know how good they are. And hello. So, and the kids were so happy to see him. They let him be gone maybe 1 or 2 days before they start questioning, okay, when he coming back? All right, okay, he's been gone long enough. He needs to come back home. But, I just tell him, oh, he's coming. He'll do his drop calls or do a video call just to pass, he missed them. They miss, him. And so they can see each other. And so just saying that, are you ready, sir?
I'm almost there.
Okay.
Well, how was your day today?
My day, it was like our guest said, it was productive, same day, same stuff, different day, but still managing it all and getting things together, and had a great conversation about school coming. But then, what I really like?
What's that?
We received 2 phone calls today.
What was that?
About our book.
Wow. Who was the first person? Who was the second person?
The second person? It was Sandra.
Oh, Sandra. Okay.
Sandra. And just saying how the book has blessed them and taken them back, because they are mentioned in the book, Sandra and her husband, Gary, because they were part of the story.
Our book.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you, Keisha. I knew you would like it. And so.
Keisha is our number one.
Listen.
We're going to have to put it. We're
Listen,
going to have to do something.
But anytime you wear royal blue, she's going to say something. She is a member of Zeta Phi Beta Incorporated, the only sorority that has a true brotherhood, as they say, of the men of Phi Beta Sigma.
All right, don't spill too much history.
Oh, okay, I'm just saying. Well, listen, if I don't, she will. The only the true brother and sisterhood. So anyway,
yeah, our book.
Our book.
It's selling. We've sold over 100 copies. Yay. Hold on, let me get this ready.
Happy.
Yes, over 100.
Yes, over 100. Keep going.
Oh, so I pumped out some more to another pastor and his wife.
And the good thing about it, can I say who it is? Because
yes,
it is Pastor Reverend James Lane, his wife Letitia Lane, the First Lady Letitia Lane of Pleasant Hill Baptist Church in Michigan City, my hometown, my other hometown. First one is Gary. And so let me tell you what they did.
What did they do?
They bought 3 copies, one for themselves and 2 to give away.
Wow.
He's going to do his own giveaway, however he wants to do it, but he wanted to pay it forward. So he's like, before I buy them, give me just which angle are y'all coming from with this book, so I know if anybody asks me, even before I get, he said, because trust me, I'm going to read the book. And so I explained it to him what it was, and he was like, okay, I needed to hear that. He said, okay, I want 3 books. I was like, come on, Reverend, thank you.
Keisha
bought 5. No, she bought 6. Because she read it and said in 2 hours, and then said, I need 5 copies so I can give away. This book needs to be put in the mental health society. I mean, she was just saying in the role that she plays in family counseling and marital counseling and all of that. So listen, it's needed. It's not just for married people, but it is for people when you are caring for someone, as well as if you are the patient. Okay, a different perspective. Okay, God gives us so many different outcomes, and so yeah.
So you asked, if you want to go ahead and purchase our book,
yes,
please feel free to go to Life's Interruptions. Okay, so there's a couple ways 3 ways actually that you can buy the book.
But there are only so many ways you can get
an autograph.
Yes.
So the autograph way is to Cash App us. Let me put that up on the screen. You can Cash App us, CNC Live. $ CNC Live, and then put your address in the 4 area, so I'll know where to send it. Because if you don't do that, then you're just donating,
right?
Or you can go to Life's with an S, Interruptions with an S.com, and there you can purchase a book, and then it'll take you through PayPal and all that. Or we are on Amazon.
Yes, we are. And
you can get a book there, but that is, you won't receive an
An
autograph
autograph.
unless you fly down to our drive
Or meet us somewhere.
take a bus or train or what
Plane,
have
train,
you,
automobile.
and get a book. They have us sign it. So, but you asked, how did my week go? I'm very, very, very exhausted.
I know you are. Can I say one more thing?
What's that?
Guys, we ordered 150 copies of the book to sign, okay? We have less than 50 now.
Yes.
Okay, once we get done with our 150, we letting Amazon have it.
Terrell, Terrence, I need for you to buy like 10.
Yeah, we letting Amazon have it.
Yeah.
They can do.
I mean,
all
we
the
had
orders.
some on hand in case people want us to come speak or something.
Yeah,
like
in that case, then we'll do a special order. But other than that, once we get done with that, unless it's a special order, we will be done doing that. So the first 150 is autographed. Go ahead.
So I was saying that I'm very exhausted.
Yes, you are.
Just based on the task that I had at hand, the assignment that was put before me.
That you were joyful in doing.
Yes. And so it was very, 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 very tiring from Thursday to Sunday. So I got a chance to meet a few people on the way. Which one of them? Let me see. Let me throw this up on the screen for our guest who's waiting behind closed door number 1. So we met my Dietrich Hatton. Well, not met. I already knew Dietrich, so we reconnected. We used to, talk back in the day. And collaborate in L.A. when we were living there, and so we reconnected. He's actually shooting another movie, Blessed and Cursed 2. Okay. Yeah, that's why he's here in Atlanta.
The first one was good.
Yeah, the first one was good. So he's shooting number 2 here in Atlanta. We talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about a variety, like how is he, like he's making a transition from music to film, but he still loves music, but he likes the film aspect as well. Okay. So we talked about that. We just talked about a host of things behind the stage and stuff. So it was really cool.
And who else is that?
That's Carlton Pearson.
Bishop Carlton Pearson.
Bishop.
Okay.
Yes, I met him in the lobby and took a picture with him, took a little snap.
And next?
We have on the right, though, we have Hattie Mae.
Miss Hattie Mae.
Miss Hattie Mae. She's
Tyler
hilarious.
Perry, film studios actress.
Yes. How come it's not showing? Oh, maybe I don't know. All right. And then on the left side, we have the one and only Vicki Winans.
Yes.
I must say, if I was single,
keep it moving. What did he?
She probably would have asked for.
What did he tell you last night?
She probably would have asked for my number.
What did he tell you last night?
She said I was cute.
Just some stuff don't need to be mentioned.
I'm just saying. She said I was cute.
That got to your head.
Yeah.
You know how many cities,
and then she
go to?
And then she said on the way out, I think it was even after this. No, it was Sunday morning. Okay. She said she told me she loved me. Okay. She said, "I love you, baby."
Okay.
So I think if I was single, she probably would.
Oh my goodness.
She might would have, tried to hit up on me.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Y'all pray.
She was funny though.
Use tongues with this one.
I'm just saying. She loved Chris.
Okay, keep it moving. Next.
Oh shoot! You know what? Wait a minute. I didn't even show the picture. Darn it. There we go.
Okay, you don't have to say all that again. So we got Dietrich Hatton, Bishop Carlton Pearson, and the next picture would be.
Hold on, let me switch this mode back right quick. Bam, and then there they are. Hattie Mae,
Miss Hattie Mae, and Miss Vicki Winans.
Yeah, why did that do that?
I'm not sure.
They didn't want me to show Vicki Winans.
Okay.
See, why is he doing it?
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I know why. But yeah, so Miss there we go. So Miss
is that all you have to show us?
Yeah, that's just the fact
awesome.
that Miss Vicki Winans said I was cute.
You are cute. Oh, I think you're fine. You mine. Okay. Let's keep it moving. So another thing we have coming up. Is that all you want to say about your assignment?
Yeah, that's it. Cause I'm exhausted. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so tired.
I hear you. I see it. It's, you ready for a vacation?
My son said, "Daddy, your eyes are red."
Who, Evan said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would notice that.
Yeah, he's the doctor of the family.
He's the doctor of the
It's
family.
almost
he's
8 years
speaking it.
old.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
bit
What
behind.
else? What else do we have?
Canning with Carlette is
Canning-
coming up.
I don't
Canning
have that
with Carlette.
graphic.
Wow. Why is that?
I don't know.
I-
I'm gonna have to redo your graphic because it doesn't fit my screen well. So
You don't like my graphic?
I mean, it's all right, but you know.
Canning with Carlette, July 31st. Guys, this is class number 2. We did the first
Mhm.
class in June.
Well,
It was with fruit.
Mhm.
We dealt with strawberries, and they had an assignment, and they turned in their homework. Listen, they did canned strawberries that day, and so far I have students that have done more canned strawberries. They've done peaches. They've done blueberries. They've done somebody did blueberry, blackberry. I'm like, they just taking it and run with it. Listen, it's a life skill that you can learn, okay? And I don't know, I ain't trying to speak nothing, but it was nothing like going into that grocery store and them shelves were empty.
yeah.
But I didn't panic. I had my stuff, okay? I'm just saying. But it's a life skill you can learn, and our next class is on all things tomatoes, marinara, salsa, stewed tomatoes. It's wonderful. It's just a small fee of $15 as well. Send it to the Cash App. You can inbox me on Chris and Carlette Live on my personal, or
We'll be
just
sending out
contact me.
what
We're
you
gonna
go
do an
to?
Eventbrite
Eventbrite.
because
Yeah, you
this
can pay
thing
on
is in
Eventbrite.
12 days.
Lord Jesus. See, you stressing me out even more. I gotta take all these cameras upstairs, set up the kitchen. Jesus.
At least you got a little break. You don't
You
have
need
to do it till
your
the
next
30th.
house. You need to have a separate studio
I already
kitchen.
told you that. I am having a studio kitchen.
I'm tired of all
So
this.
just get it right. Just get it ready. Them
Jesus.
plans. And it's gonna have I'm gonna have a little walkway from the house to my studio kitchen.
Okay. We got to bring our
Bam.
guest on. Can't be talking about all this kitchen stuff. Shoot, she waiting patiently. She been on
July
for 30.
31st, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay.
Hey, before we bring her on,
Uh-huh.
did I tell you that Vicky Wine said she loved me?
Okay.
All right,
So
go
let me
ahead.
tell you how we met our guest. Okay. We have a mutual friend by the name of Mr. Chaz Mall. Okay. He's Alabama's own. Birmingham, Alabama on top of that. Oh, was he? Is he Huntsville?
Huntsville, I
He's
think.
Huntsville.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, he called me. He said, friend, listen,
He better be watching too.
let's pray. But he said, friend, listen, my friend wrote a book and she need to be on your show. He said it just like that. I said, okay, what is the book about? He's like, well, it's something about her and her marriage, but it just fits right with your show. And she coming out, she'll be great on your show. I said, well, you don't have to sell me too much. It's already, she's a new author. We're going to bring her on, give her more exposure, and another platform for her. And we are so glad. She has a sweet spirit, guys, seriously, and a wonderful story. She sent me the book.
It's a sweet, sweet
Okay.
spirit. Okay, I'm sorry.
And so she,
tired.
you are.
Go ahead.
So she sent me the book. Guys, I went to get a pedicure, okay? I was dry, and I was still sitting there with my feet underneath the dryer, still reading the book. They were done with my feet. I started reading as soon as she started on my feet, and by the time I couldn't stop. Then I was like, man, I said, I got to hurry up and go across the street. I got in the car and did not drive off, rolled down the windows and kept reading and did not stop until I was finished.
Wow.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a lot of dynamics to it, but she's so transparent. That was the thing about this books like these is going to help people, okay? In the church, out of the church. She's transparent and you fall in love with them. You really do. And so listen, I want you all welcome with me Lady Christy L. Bell.
All right. All these people, you can't see. We have a ton of people in the background is just clapping and stuff.
So here it is, guys. This is the book, Love Transcends, okay? Love Transcends. And so It's a true story of two people who were soulmates who loved each other unconditionally in an instant. Okay, I'm not gonna read no further. I'm gonna let her do that. Miss Christy, Lady Christy Bell, welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. So I'm gonna read your bio real quick. She is currently employed by the Gadsden City School System as a secretary bookkeeper. She has over 25 years in administrative and clerical experience. She is a former first lady who has served on boards for various foundations and auxiliaries. She is the widow of Elder Harvey Benjamin Bell Jr., with whom she spent 26 years. She is a devoted mother to her children, Ahmad and Elijah Bell. She is a business owner and now a published author. She enjoys spending time with her children, traveling, reading, cooking, and shopping. Wonderful. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's a blessing to be here. I appreciate the opportunity.
So tell me, we don't want to give too much away of the book because they need to buy it. Okay. And we will get to how they can do that. But what made you write this book?
Well, I wrote the book out of obedience to the Spirit of the Lord. My story, my husband, we had a wonderful love story. I was blessed with a wonderful marriage to a wonderful man who adored me. And when I lost him, it was devastating to me. And I couldn't find any comfort anywhere. So I began writing letters to my husband in hopes that I would be able to find some peace, because in the past I've always written down my worries to the Lord whenever I felt burdened. And so I wanted to find some comfort because I couldn't find any in any books that I read. And the Lord just told me one day, to write the story. And I ran from it and ran from it. And I got confirmation after confirmation. And then one morning I got up and I prayed and I said to the Lord, I said, Lord, if you desire me to write this story or to tell this story, give me confirmation and give me confirmation immediately and let me know without a shadow of a doubt that it is you. And he did that immediately, within a couple of hours on that day. And so I sat down and I made an outline and I wrote the book in one day.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Now, the outline, if I'm correct, what I'm looking at is the table of contents, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, I will tell y'all this. I will read the table of contents to you. Okay. The beginning, living life, life change, gracefully broken, purpose, and peace. Now, when you just said about when he passed, because I read the book, I was able to go back to that moment. When I was reading the book, I was able to imagine it. The way, the detail that you gave. I mean, from every moment when y'all left the restaurant to the getting to the car and just everything that happened between. I mean, you gave us every little second of that moment. And that's how I knew something was coming. You first made us fall in love with you all and your story. And then you became transparent of some things that happened and how you stayed. That's strong. I also love how you said, I know my purpose in life was to be a wife and a mother. And I was committed to that. Please talk more about that. Because, people like you, they say, oh, they don't make them like that no more.
It's funny that you say that. My son, when he was 17 years old, he came home one day and he had just started dating and he broke up with this little girl and he said, Mama, he said, they don't make them like you anymore. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, they don't, he said, these girls out here are so fake and they just don't, they're not loyal. That's what he said. He said, they're not loyal like you are to daddy. And, I have always tried to be, and we all fall short in so many areas of our life. It's only by God's grace that we are here and, that we have anything. But in the area of being a wife and a mom, those always brought me much joy. And I've always tried to be a very good wife and tried to be a very good mother. And, my husband and I, we tried to live a life in front of our children that would make our children seek the same things in their relationships that we had in ours. And, my mom said to me when I was a very young girl, she said, some people are put on this earth to be wives and moms. And she said, you're one of those people. She said, you're a natural nurturer. And that's what brought me joy. I can remember a time when I was debating going back to school, and I couldn't decide what I was going to take. And someone said to me, what brings you your greatest joy? And I said, being a wife and a mother. And it did. My husband and my children were my life. And I breathed and lived because of them. And when I lost my husband and my children grew up, my purpose in life changed, because for so many years, they had been my purpose and they had been my life. And, I'm grateful. My children are my greatest blessings. I've always said that. I used to tell my husband, when I die, if they could put "she was a good mom" on her headstone, then I will feel like I have achieved my goal in life, because that's always what I wanted to be, was a wife and a mom. And so it's just been a blessing. I've had a blessed life. I was able to have to be that wife and mom that I desired to be, and I tell people, even if I had my husband for 40 more years, it still would have been too soon to have lost him, because, my life was my husband and my children. And, but, it's like I said, it's just a blessing to have had that type of relationship. I desired to be what my husband and my children needed. Like you said earlier in your introduction, you wanted your home to be his peace when he comes home. And, and that's how I've always felt when me and my husband would talk about it. When he comes home, that should be his sanctuary. That should be, the worries of the job and the worries of the stresses of being a pastor and an executive director. When you come home, you should just be able to be a husband and a daddy. And so I tried to make my home a place where that was, conducive for my husband and my children.
Okay. I totally agree. I totally agree. So something you said, that in this process, this grief process, that you had stated that you ask yourself, if what could you have done to avoid this happening? And you made mention, and I'm going somewhere with this, you made mention that he should have went to his physical. Okay. I was watching an episode, an old episode today, and it was an old Different World, the show Different World. And they were saying how one of the professors had passed, and he was good, but he did all these, he had all these bad habits. And he did not want to go to the doctor. Something that was preventable. So what do you have to say in that regard?
Well, my husband had a very high pain tolerance. I can remember when we dated, he broke his leg playing, or his ankle playing basketball. And he came home and he was in a lot of pain. And I said, I think you need to go to the doctor. He's like, oh no, it's fine. I'm fine. It's just a sprain. And the day turned into night, and his mom called me and she said, I think you need to make him go to the doctor. And he didn't go until the next day, when the pain was so excruciating to where he had to go, and it wound up being a broken leg. And so, he was just one of those people that, I would stay on him about, going, which it wasn't when I would constantly remind him, go get your physical. You need to get your physical by August. It wasn't because he was out of shape or I felt that there was any danger in him being sick. It was, for me, it was because we got a discount on our insurance. Wow. If he would go to the appointment.
That is right.
And so I would get my physical every year, and he would put his off and put it off and put it off. And and what's so ironic is because I had been telling him, because the deadline is always in August. And I had been saying, you need to go get your physical. You need to go get your physical. And he kept saying, oh, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. And I said, well, let me just make an appointment. I'll go with you. And, because men are typically, they shunned the doctor anyway. I remember years ago when he was having some cholesterol issues, and I said, well, I'm going to go to the doctor with you. And he said, oh, no, you don't have to go with me. I said, yes, I'm going to go because you're not going to tell him everything that's going on. And sure enough, we got in the doctor's office and he said, oh, I'm fine. It's, and I said, no, he's been doing this, And so I just, not saying that it would have changed anything. I just feel like maybe if I had been more persistent and made him go or set the appointment, say, hey, you're going today, but it had been a battle every year getting him to go to get his physical. But the devil comes to you when you're at your lowest time. And in my grief, there was so many questions about what I could have done differently. Could I have forced him? Of course, you can't force anyone to do anything. And even if he had went, if it was God's will that he not be here, it still would have been the same outcome. But in that moment, you question everything that you could have done differently to make the outcome a difference,
Now, I want to say something. If you all that's listening, man, woman, husband, wife, if your spouse has been getting on you about going to the doctor, go to the doctor. Yes. Don't stop making them beg, plead. Stop making them keep rescheduling your appointments. How about that?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, our jobs are so concerned about it. There's so many benefit programs. You get rebates and gift cards if you reach your goals, if you lower your BMI, if they notice your cholesterol levels go down. When you have good numbers, you get a better rate with your insurance. Did you know that? Especially with life insurance. And so, I remember for all those who used to listen to Tom Joyner, he used to have Take Your Loved One to the Doctor Day. I think he did that, maybe once a month or so. But he made a big deal out of it because he was like, I am tired of the mortality rates of our brothers and sisters going up. And it's the brown and black people, minorities with the highest mortality rates. Right. And it's stuff that is preventable. Yes. It's preventable. So, I thank you for saying it because that was something else I got out of the book because, sometimes we got to reschedule. But we're going to leave that alone. So all those that under the sound of my voice, if this, if this fits with you, make the appointment and keep it. Put the reminder in your phone. Get you an accountability partner that's going to say, hey, it came up in my calendar. Your appointment is tomorrow. Hey, your appointment's in 2 hours. You ready? Stuff like that. So, all right. We take off time for everything else. Take off time for your health. Okay.
Yes.
Did you have any questions?
No, I mean, I'm just trying to, I think you're trying to signify something.
I'm not. I'm talking about the book.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You're trying to signify.
I'm just saying. So,
it's okay though.
All right. So like I had a lot of things.
I want you to
go ahead.
No, I'm not. I have so many pages.
I see.
You can ask me anything.
Okay. So before I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
This is outside of the book, but it's related to the book.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Well, it's not really pertaining to the book, but it's the process that you went through.
That's good.
Okay. So a lot of times I in your opening statement of how you created the book, a lot of people look at when it comes to creating something, or if you have a question about, whether you should do something or not, to fleece God. And a lot of people have issues with that. Well, from, what I kind of heard, well, you shouldn't do this, but I've done it, so, and then you've done it. And I'm like, why is it such it's not even a taboo subject, but it's just like, that's something that you should just have faith to go out and do it. Well, but you want to be for sure. You want to be for certain that this is the right thing to do. So why not, God, if you want me to do X, Y, Z, then show me, do something. Like, what is your explanation? Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, I think just in general, as people, we fear anything that is out of our comfort zone. And for me, running from the book was, as your wife said, it was so transparent, and it's hard to put yourself out there because, just as many people that are going to love the book, you're going to have as many critics or more critics. And so, for me, running from it was not wanting to deal with that aspect of it. I didn't want to put my life on display and have the backlash that comes along with that when you put your life on display. But with me, it was one of those things that the Lord just continued to. The Lord started dealing with me with my story the night before my husband passed away.
Wow.
That title, Love Transcends, is actually in my husband's obituary because God gave it to me the night before I lost my husband. And it would not leave me alone. It continued to follow me everywhere I turned. There were confirmations, but I was scared because as humans, we're scared of anything that is different than what we're accustomed to. I'm not a confrontational person. I typically get along with most of the people I meet. And when you put your life on display, a fear comes along with that because of the backlash, because your story is not going to be your version of events is not going to be what everyone's version of events is. And so you're going to have some people who are going to disagree with that. But I think it's just human nature to be afraid. But, I've learned from being disobedient that obedience is better than sacrifice. And so I've had a couple of instances in my life where I haven't disobeyed God, and you pay the price for that. And so with this, I finally just gave in, and I said, okay, God, if it's your will that I do this, then let's do it. And that's what I did.
Wow. That's good.
So, two things: coping mechanisms. In the book, you discuss one of them, and I'm not going into it. I'm just going to say I'm thankful for your transparency.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They have to buy the book to find that out.
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
But for you being a first lady, and I'm not going to say former first lady, you are still Lady Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I still get that title a lot.
Yeah. And so for you to say that and in the role that you play, okay, because that grace is still upon you. Yes. It's like for you to share that I was so happy. That you said it, because there's so many first ladies and other women in position, people in the church that's suffering in silence, and they have coping mechanisms, and guilt and condemnation comes in, and they feel like there is no hope for them to get rid of it or how to come out of it. Even if they wanted to do, when the Bible tells us to confess our faults to one another, of course, to someone with wisdom and strength to hear, and then to, help walk you through the process of, if you want to call it, redemption. They say, because you have to use wisdom when you confess those things to the right person. And so I thank you. Get the book, people. I'm telling you. To know what I'm talking about, because I'm not giving it away. All right. So the next thing, let's have a teaching moment for you to teach people. During that time when he passed, even up until now, people have a tendency of not knowing what to say, but they end up saying dumb stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you give us some examples of what not to say?
Yes, I can from self-experience.
Yes.
It's still hard for people to, I had someone come up to me one day at the post office, and they were just standing in line behind me, and they realized it was me. And I guess my husband had been gone about 7 months, and they tapped me and they said, "Hey, Lady Bell." And I said, "Hey, how are you doing?" And they said, "Oh, I'm doing fine."
Oh, no.
"How are you doing?" Can be expected. And they said to me, "I know you miss your husband, don't you?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's one of those things, I still have people that after, my husband's been gone 19 months, almost 2 years. And I still have people that don't know what to say to me when they see me, but I remember when my son, my youngest son went back to school, and he wanted to go back to school immediately. He went because he's that kid that likes to be in the routine. It helps him to get back into the swing of things. So he went back to school the week after we buried his dad. And I remember him coming home to me, and he said, "Mama, everybody is asking me how I'm doing, how I'm doing, how I'm doing, how I'm doing." And he said, "I know they mean well, but he said, sometimes the best thing you can say is nothing." And and I said, that's profound coming from an 18-year-old, because it's really hard. People don't, unless you've been through it, you don't know what to say to people. And but the main thing is, sometimes just saying, "Hey, how are you doing?" Or if you need anything, let me know. It's just it's kind of hard for people to understand what you're going through if they've never been through it. And every loss is a different type of loss. People grieve differently. And the best thing you can do is just be there for people. And sometimes the best thing is to say is not anything. Just I'm praying for you, just, and sometimes not even calling people or texting. I mean, you need that communication with people. And I was blessed. I had some really good friends, some good people around me. My sisters, one of my sisters called me every morning to check on me, just to see. She said, "I just want to make sure you're good." But there's so many people that are at a loss for words. One of my friends, she has a friend that's a coach, and he said, "I don't even know what to say to her because I'm so accustomed to them being together."
Right.
And seeing one, seeing them both at the same time. I'm not accustomed to seeing her by herself. And, but he never said that to me, because he just, people are uncomfortable with grief, because it's a hard thing, and it's different for everyone. Every person that has ever been through any type of grief can tell a story of what they've been through. Because it's different whether you lose a spouse, a child, a parent, and everyone grieves differently. I had one lady come up to me. She had read the book, and she had lost her husband several years ago. And she said, "I have been grieving for years and years and years, and this book blessed me." And, because you never know what people are going through. You never know what internal battles that people are fighting. And so it's just be kind, be kind and be present, and give people grace, because sometimes it may take you 6 months to get over something. Sometimes it may take you years. I remember someone came to me and told me, they said, "You will never get over it, but it will get easier."
Wow. Wow. Would you I don't know how to ask this. I should ask you this before.
You're fine.
Okay. Did you go through grief counseling?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I got to a point where I probably should have. I even had a relative ask me, "Hey, do we need to get you some help?" I tried to maintain, because I felt like if I did not hold it all together, that my children would falter. And so I felt like it was my duty to, stay strong for them. So there were a lot of days where I probably should have spoken with someone, that I stayed at home and I was, crying for days, or, wouldn't get out of the bed for days. There were days that I probably needed to have talked to someone. But it's taboo, especially in African American
Yes.
communities. Counseling is taboo, and even more so with church folks, because we're supposed to take everything to the Lord, and that's all we need. And that's what we're trained to do, and that's what we're raised to do. And so, no, I did not ever get any counseling. I did have friends that I poured out my heart to. I had a wonderful relative who prayed me through a lot of dark days. But in hindsight, I should have probably gotten a counselor, probably for me and my children, because there was a need. And but at that moment, I was just trying to survive.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a psychiatrist on our show a couple times, actually.
Yeah, twice. He came out with a book. It's our Sunday school teacher, elder at our church.
And he was saying how everybody needs some counseling. Really.
That's true. That's true.
He has a book just came out, Depression in the Pews.
Hold the
Yes.
mic straight.
I'm sorry, Depression in the Pews. And he even got a chapter that says, your pastor is depressed. you know. Yeah, we did a launch of his book here on the show. That was like 2 months ago, I think. But yeah, okay. Going back, one more thing. This is probably my last question. You mentioned about your children. How is their process? What was their process?
My children, kids are very resilient, but they're also, especially boys. I have boys. They're fiercely protective of their mom. Their first instinct was to want to take care of me. My oldest, when he instantly said, "What do I need to do? Do I need to quit school? Do I need to get a job? Whatever you need, that's what I'll do." And I said, "No, we're not quitting school. You're going to do the things that me and your dad planned for you to do. With the exception of your dad not being here, your life is not going to change." And it went through, he went through stages where, he wanted to take care of me and he wanted to step in and fill the role of his dad. And, and I had to tell him, I said, those are not requirements for you. You don't have to fill the shoes of your dad. You just go to school, do what you're supposed to do. But then he went through, he was angry and it spilled over to, to where he was angry at me.
Wow.
And then the youngest one, he was very, he's one of those children that he's very resilient. He did not lash out at me or anything like that. He just sort of stayed to himself, which he's that kid that stays to himself anyway. But he's not, my oldest one would, go to the cemetery sometimes, whereas my youngest one, rarely goes. He would go with me at Christmas time or something like that. Their coping mechanisms were very different. And, and I told my oldest son, I said, you've got to find a way, because he got angry, he got angry for losing his dad. And we all did, you go through those emotions. You're hurt, you're angry, you want to blame somebody, you want to punch something. But both of my boys, I sat them down and I talked to them and I said, "Hey, do you need to talk to someone? We can get you some counseling." Both of them agreed not to have it, and even, my stepson, my oldest stepson, I know he went through a phase where he didn't want to be around people. It's just, they all went through a different set of emotions, coping with the loss of their father. And, it's just one of those things that as a mom, you just try to be there for them and, make it, I let them know that I was open to let them talk to someone if they want, because sometimes they don't need you. Sometimes they need someone that's outside of the box who doesn't have a dog in the fight.
Wow.
And because, sometimes you're too close to the situation. You need someone who is objective, who, doesn't know the situation and to help you cope, through some things. But they're doing really well now. They struggled a little bit, in school, grades dropped a little bit. They went through some phases that, that we had to work through as a family. But they are, praise God, we're all on the upside of it now.
That's good. That's good.
Wow.
Well, that's all the questions I have, because your bio says what you're doing now. So we know that part. You're keeping it moving. You're staying
Mhm.
active. Let me ask you this: what happened to the church?
I still have the church
Okay.
because me and my husband actually um, purchased the church. We financed it ourselves, so we didn't go through an organization. So after he passed away, I we closed the church a couple of months after he passed, and I left everything on, and I showed it to several people for the first year, and no one purchased it, and everyone was saying, "Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, it's too big for us." But the Lord sent someone last year who is in the process now of leasing it, and they've been in it for about 6 months.
Okay.
And the goal is hopefully after the lease is up that they will outright purchase it. So God has sent someone who loves it as much as we did. My husband loved that place.
Mm-hmm.
He used to say all the time, we would get up on Saturday mornings and we'd work around our house, and he'd say, let's go to our second home. So we'd go over there and he'd cut the grass and I'd clean on the inside. And so, I was very, as I was showing it through that first year, I was so burdened because I knew that he loved that place and he had put everything into that place for 10 years. And when this church family came along and I met them, and I took them over there, I was actually able to go into the church, and I had this spirit come over me, and I was able to release it because I felt like they would take care of it and love it the way we had.
Wow.
And they have been a blessing. They have been a blessing to me, and they tell me I've been a blessing to them. But I believe the Lord sends along the people that you need to be a blessing in your life. And and I've been a recipient of many miracles in my life down through the years. And so I just thank the Lord that He sent them. And the plan is to have the building sold within the next 6-8 months.
Okay.
I have a question. At
Mhm.
at any point, did you get upset at God?
I did. I did.
It's in the book.
I was
Oh, that's
very
part of, okay.
It's in
All
the
right.
book.
Yes, I
Mhm.
did. I went through a stage where I couldn't even pray for myself, and I was angry with God. I mean, because I felt like He took him prematurely, and I did. I went through a phase where, and it's actually in the book where people were saying, well, you need to draw closer to God and you need to go to church. I didn't want to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to praise the Lord, because I was angry. I was mad that He took my husband. Me and my husband had just sat down and made all these plans for the next year in the ministry as well as in our personal lives. And, it was devastating, and I didn't think it was fair, but in the midst of my storm, God showed me grace. And so, now my testimony is even in the midst of this, God is still God. Now my testimony is we don't understand God's plan, but His plan is still perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been a recipient of His grace. And I went through a phase where I was very angry, and for the Lord to have bring me to where I am now from where I was, there were months that I did not go to church. And and I've been a preacher's wife for the past 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
um and so to not go to church was devastating to me. But at that moment, that's not where I was. Um I didn't easily forgive him, but he was graceful even in the midst of that, and he had mercy on me, and he gave me some time,
Mm-hmm.
to to get back to myself.
Right.
Because and it took a minute. It took a minute. I had so many people inviting me to go to church and come to church with them, but I was not at a place where I felt like I was deserving of being in church because of my reaction to the death of my husband. I was so mad.
Wow.
You go through those emotions. You go through sad, and then you get angry, and then you have to but God is God, and he loves us in spite of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
And he loved me, and he loved me through the anger. And and I say this, I think in the book, where one morning, and I was instant, I always apologize. I would get angry at God, and then I would instantly say, Lord, I'm sorry. And then one morning I got up and I was angry, and then I said, Lord, forgive me. And then I said, no, Lord, you knew at this moment that I would be this upset.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to apologize, because you already knew I would be here on this day.
That's good. Wow, that's
And
good.
so, and I was then I began to heal after I started having conversations with God about, being real about my emotions. We're trained to say, Lord, forgive me, and God doesn't make mistakes, but we have to have real conversations with him, just like we're talking to each other.
And
And
that's
when I got to that point where I could say, okay, Lord, you knew I would be mad, so just give me some grace for today. Help me get through today.
and that's acknowledging him.
Exactly.
And people don't think about that. That
Mm-hmm.
is acknowledging him in all your ways. That is a great example. He wants to hear that too.
That's right.
He wants honesty and transparency. That's what he can work with.
Yes.
You have faith enough to believe that he would hear you even say that. He can
That's
work with
right.
that. It's faith
That's
in that.
right. That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Do you excuse me? Do you ever since he's around? I mean, not like watching over you.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
What is
I
that?
do. I have had so many moments after I finally got over the anger, because I even cried out to the Lord. I said, Lord, I just need to hear his voice. I just need to see him. And, that particular night, my husband came to me in a dream. And,
And it's
I
in the book
can,
too, right? That's in the book too. Didn't I read that?
yes,
Yes, I
yes.
did.
Oh,
See,
okay.
And I
Chris?
actually, I have went to the cemetery before, heartbroken, and got down on my knees and cried out to the Lord. And me and my husband used to always sit on our back deck, and we would talk about every time we went out there, the red birds would come, and we would always say that was my father and his father coming to check on the grandkids. And I remember going to the cemetery one day, and I was so distraught, and I was missing my husband so bad, and I fell down on my knees at his headstone, and I cried out to the Lord. I said, Lord, I just need to feel his presence. And there was a puddle of water to the left of me, and a red bird came and sat down in that puddle of water. And I said, well, thank you, Harvey Bell, for coming to see about me.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so God, he gave me just enough to help me get through the hard times. The dreams that, I would, sometimes I would hear his voice, or a song would come on that he had sung to me, when I was in my darkest moment. And, it was a blessing to have those nuggets, because I needed those. I needed to feel his presence, and to know that, his spirit was still around me.
Wow.
And
So
so God has been faithful in giving me those little signs when I needed them.
how can people
Oh,
go?
wait, before you do that, I got one last question. This will be the last question.
You're
Because they
fine.
keep coming to me. Okay, so you're first lady.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm noticing that, when the wife loses the husband as that loan, is then her having to figure out how he did stuff. Okay. So
Yes.
you have now someone leasing the church, so you took care of that business and you
Yes.
kept it going. That's major, because some women be like, I don't know, he did this. And that's an opportunity for people to steal from them in the church, outside of the church,
Yes.
and knowing you knew what to do.
Well,
Well,
thing about that,
okay.
the thing about that is, I'm a secretary and a bookkeeper, and I have been one for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we first got our church, I did the paperwork for us to get incorporated. So when it comes to business, things like that, when we bought our home, I did all the footwork, the paperwork and stuff behind it. So when it comes to that, God gives you the tools you need to be able to function. When it comes to any type of paperwork or business, I always handled our finances, and I always did all the paperwork and kept up with it. My husband used to tell everybody, he said, I'm the pastor, but she's the one behind the scenes running everything.
Wow.
But he just, when it comes to things like that, I've always done all of our church blanks and all of the paperwork concerning the church. So that was easy for me, as far as that part of it. Now, around the house was a little bit different story, because he took care of, the yard and the cars and different things like that. And, but when it comes to the business side of it, I have a, experience with that. So, you couldn't, I had several people that tell me that, they weren't going to buy the church because it was too expensive. I said, well, that's okay.
Right.
Right.
That's good. That's real good.
It's just not yours. It's just not meant to be yours then.
Right. Because you know what it took to get it.
Exactly. And I know how much work we put into it. I know how many of our finances that we put into it. And, it was a labor of love for us. And, I knew what it was worth. And, and like I said, when it's for you, the Lord will send the right people along.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so.
Wow.
So go ahead.
I'm
done now.
How can we go ahead and purchase the book?
You can purchase the book. It is available on Amazon. You can look up Love Transcends and type in my name. It is available on Amazon for $15. But like you said, if you want an autographed copy, you can message me on Facebook and send in payment. I take Cash App, Venmo, all major credit cards.
All right.
PayPal.
Let me write that down. What's your Cash App?
KBell 2476.
I'm typing in the chat. Let's see. $ KBell. If I could type right.
2476.
2476 to purchase the book. And then they need to put the address too, right?
They can, or they can send me the address in Facebook Messenger.
Oh, okay. And then look up Christy Bell.
Christy with a K.
Put to give her. I'm doing this live on your address. All right, there we go.
Okay.
Do you know Salim Satalani? Sultani?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
Well, somebody new that's watching. They said, I admire you, and put a rose there.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you both having me on and giving me this platform. When I wrote this book, I just wanted it. It wasn't about the book sales. It wasn't about the money. It was, Lord, if you want me to write it, if it can be a blessing to someone. And so I have got so much positive feedback, and like you guys, I've sold my first 100 copies.
Yes. Yeah. Come
on. I gotta get to it. Thank y'all. Everybody in the background see.
So that is a not a big deal to a lot of people, but it is a milestone that I'm proud of.
Yes, absolutely.
And then
so I'm grateful That's right. I'm grateful to be able to share the story, and I hope that it blesses someone. I was blessed to have a wonderful marriage, and I'm grateful for that. And God has smiled on me, and His favor has graced my life, and I'm so grateful to Him for that. And I thank Him for bringing me through this storm.
Right.
Wow. That song. God had, how you say that?
Which one?
God has smiled on me.
God has
Smiled on me.
Yeah.
He has set me free.
Right. I can sing, y'all, if y'all let me. No, but we want to thank you so much. You have a powerful story, testimony, and we just share this link with all your friends on your Facebook
I
page.
will.
Share. Everybody share this. All of you all that logged in tonight. Once the replay comes on, go into your page, find us, share it, say, listen to this. This is powerful. She needs to be at your ministry, at your conference. If you have, now I'm going to tell you something. The Bible says to take care of widows and orphans. It says it.
Yes, it does.
It says it. That's the word. Oh, thank you, Lord. It's a blessing. Thank you, Jesus.
What?
It's a blessing when you take care of widows and orphans. Am I right, Lady Bell?
You are right. You're right.
It
That's
is.
what the word
I
says.
didn't even think. Ooh, that's a blessing. Oh, it's coming. Okay.
That's right. It's in the atmosphere. We're waiting on it.
Yes. I just thought about that. Okay. But see, now,
Chris, I told her when I come to town, me and her are gonna have brunch, but we may or may not leave you out.
Right.
Nah,
she's just an hour away from me.
I know she right outside of where we
was just there.
Yeah, we went to Walmart.
Yes.
She right by the Walmart.
No, that's the city that we went to. Well,
yeah.
Well, that's what came up on my phone. It said Pell.
Yeah, we were like that Walmart is 5 minutes from the campsite. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So listen, thank you so much for coming on. I know we're going to stay in contact. And I thank God for Chaz connecting us and
Chazzy West,
as he calls him. And connecting us. I thank God for this, even this divine connection. You need to be speaking before people, and we just speak that those more open doors. That's the word of the Lord at our house, our church home, for 2021, more open doors, and we speak that even for you, because you have a story to tell. And I'm gonna tell you, God can use people when they're transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me good. This, I want to look perfect. I don't do no wrong. That's over. That day is so over. People barely listening to you. Just want to give you that wake up call. What sparks people, what gets them to listen and to make them thirsty and want to know the Jesus you know is when you're transparent. So I thank you for your story. Thank you for your transparency. Don't stop.
Charlotte Lonely, you know.
Looney. Charlotte Looney. That's my mom.
Oh, okay. She said, "Love you, Mom."
That's my
What's
mom.
up, Mrs. Looney?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So thank you, Mama Looney, for bringing her here. Thank her.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing her to this earth. Thank you for carrying this wonderful, the fruit of your womb. We thank God for her. And that's all I have. Thank you. We will stay connected, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you both for having me, and may your show continue to be blessed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we will connect soon.
Yes, we will.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
That was amazing.
What a powerful story.
Wait till you all get this book. I'm serious. You all need to get this book. Go to Amazon. Love Transcends. Christy Bell. Order the book. You know, if you're a Prime member, your shipping is going to be free more than likely.
Wow.
So listen, Love Transcends. I read the book in 1 hour and 20 minutes. I could not put it down. Okay? I could not put it down. I started soon as, because I purposely put it in my purse so I could, wherever I would have a downtime, I would, but I did not know I was not going to put it down. Mm-hmm. And I still made all my appointments. I just had something to read with it. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for this. Again, Chaz Mall, thank you so much for this.
Chaz Mall.
Yes. Okay.
Hey, did I tell you? I had a testimony.
No. Do you know what? If you say something about Vicky Winans, if you have some, I will walk out. I will walk out. I will walk. You see these ears? You see okay.
Wait.
All right.
Okay,
all
we
right.
got to talk about next week's show.
All right. Call Vicky. Tell Vicky to be on your show. Be the Chris and Vicky show. Huh? How about that?
Straighten
Run
up the
tell
thing.
That. I don't care.
Are we
Tell
gonna do
Vicky to fix it. Huh? Huh? She ain't got no sweat in this game. I'm out.
Now we have another hour of just the Chris Live show. Welcome everybody to Chris Live, and we want to no, just kidding. But But on a serious note, next week we might reach out to about 3 or 4 people that have read our book. So if you have read our book, make sure you reach out to us, and we would love to have you on our show for a virtual book reading show. What'd you say? She didn't walk out, y'all. She just played.
I am now. I'm walking out now.
So we will reach out to you all, and if you would like to be a participant, we probably can have about 5 guests at one time, including ourselves. So we will have that book reading discussion next week, so that we can do more with this book and really have people. Renee was laughing. See, I knew you'd be back. You can't leave me. You can't leave.
Love transcends.
You can't leave me, woman. Don't do that. It's in the mic.
Okay, you're done?
Yeah, I'm trying to talk about the thing next week.
Okay.
So Renelle, she bought a book. Renelle, we need you to read the book. I know you hadn't read it yet. It's probably on the kitchen table.
Read the book?
She
didn't buy the book.
I thought Renelle bought a book.
Renelle didn't buy the book.
Oh, Renelle, I need for you to buy the book so we can express ship it to you.
She got the book Depression in the Pews for free.
Oh, that's what it was.
We bought her that book.
Yes, that's what it was. Renelle, hold on. I'm a little bit upset. But yeah, so if you would like to be on our show, please read the book. And then we can have a discussion. Then we can have a discussion. We want everybody to tune in and be a part of next week's show. Hey, so I forgot to say, I can't wait until tomorrow.
Don't be putting our business out there.
I can't wait. Lord have mercy.
And that's it.
Okay, that's it. All right. She don't want me to say nothing. But we going to get some R&R. That's all I'm saying. Because love is going to transcend.
You know what?
Yes. All right, y'all. We got to go. I'm done. But, hey, if y'all want to donate anything,
buy a book.
Buy a book.
That's what you donate. Buy a book.
Buy a book. CNC Live to cash.
And all the people that said, oh, yeah, I'm going to get your book. When?
Mm-hmm. When they going to get it?
If I had $1 for everybody that said that, what you waiting on? Because everybody say, because I want an autographed copy. I want you to know we down to less than 50. So as they buy, they go out. Just saying.
How many people did you want on the
5. In addition to us, it'll be a total of 5. Well, in addition to us, it'll be a total of 6.
Okay. And then how are we going to do that?
Well, we have to know that you completed the book, not just got the book. So far, we know 4 people that have completed the book. Mm-hmm. And I believe those 4 want to be on. Mm-hmm. And I can say who they are.
Say it.
It's Keisha, Crystal, Sandra Bush, and Sandra Blakely, and Gary. Oh, so really it's 5. We got our 5, do we? That's if they want to all be on the show.
Would you consider Sandra and
Gary as 1?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can consider them as 1.
Okay.
As long as they're on the same camera. They can't be. If they're on 2 separate, then we have to count them as 2. Mm-hmm. All right. So. All right.
Okay.
Come on, dead air.
All right. Hold on.
I don't. What's happening here?
We're playing a song. Yes. Can't play too much of it.
Oh, you know what?
Renelle said she get us our copy. Okay. We're going to end this show with just a little snippet of Vicky Winans. Yes. All right, y'all. We will see y'all tomorrow. Next week. Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us this week on Chris and Carlette Live. Make sure to visit our website, chrisandcarlette.com. If you're on Facebook, share this broadcast. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our show. You may also find us on Apple Podcast, where you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. Let us stay in contact with you by texting CNC Live to 474747. That's CNC Live to 474747.
CNC Live.